What's going on, YouTube? This is Brian with Canvas the Town, coming at you with a brand new hunting horn build. This time taking advantage of a completely raw horn, the Royal Orders horn. Now, I think this horn has the very best songs of any horn, and I'm going to tell you why. But before I do, folks, I want to thank you for the support that we have been getting for the channel. We've been getting lots of views on Monster Hunter content. Really appreciate you guys checking it out, leaving your likes and subscribing. And if we hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year, I'm going to give away a Nintendo Switch to one of our subs. Just a random sub, I'll pick someone. And once we hit 1,000, if we do that before the end of the year, I'll be sending a Switch. And of course, I'd like to make some more stuff like this for you guys. So be sure to subscribe, like the video, let me know what you think of the build, check out the other videos, making new Monster Hunter content all the time. But moving on, so I'd say the Royal Orders horn has the very best songs in the game. So why is that? Let's start with having attack up. Attack up is super valuable. If you have this built into your horn, you know, you don't have to run anything other than Earthshaker or Sonic Bloom. Whereas if you have to run Beat of Resonance, you're losing out on your major 2-wire bug move as a point of DPS, which if you're someone that's playing Raw Horn, you definitely want to be spamming those. So you definitely want to have your attack up. You want to have, next up is your Sonic Barrier. Now this was buffed, everyone's talking about it. But the greatest thing about this exact horn is that it's on the same thing as Overhead Smash. So the X and A button, or the green note, if you will. So you can just spam it just like this. There's your combo. You do your big ol' overhead smash into your chord, and you're doing awesome damage, and you're keeping the whole party safe from roars and the like. Sometimes you'll end up with a double swing if you don't get the input right. That's still okay. I do think the overhead smash is the way to go. As you can see, we get those juicy hits on the head, and we don't even have attack up anymore. That is something you want to keep in mind as you do your hunts. You want to every now and then throw the other two songs in there. But we're mostly spamming that Sonic Barrier, and it's very nice damage, and it keeps you safe. There's short combos, so you can, you know, get a Sonic Barrier off, play your chord, and get out of the way, you know, get your healing off. And let's talk about the skills in the set and what they're doing for us. So we got 529 raw attack with 40% affinity with Bloodlust, and if we get the Fighter Palico going, which I believe it is, so you could definitely squeeze 10% more affinity into this, no problem, and have 100% affinity. But with Weakness Exploit, we're rocking 90, that's pretty good. Now, we got Attack Boost 7, we got Resentment level 4, Crit Boost level 3, Weakness Exploit level 3, pretty standard stuff, the first 4 skills. Sneak Attack is really, really good for those missed Earthshakers, because sometimes you go to hit them in the head, you end up hitting them in the butt, right? And you still do huge damage, as you can see, 1183. And if you hit them in a good spot, it's easy to get a 2000 damage combo off the Earthshaker, which is awesome. It's cool because Earthshaker definitely never had its time since Base Rise. I really enjoyed Sonic Bloom. But now, especially with Frostcraft, it's very useful to use Earthshaker over Sonic Bloom because you're going to get more value out of that Frostcraft versus if you're not using it, you know, if you're using Sonic Bloom, it's going to take really long for you to get those hits off to proc Sonic Bloom, where the second you have 2 wire bugs, like let's say your horn is away and you have 2 bugs, you could just take it out and get the full buff from the Frostcraft. Nice huge hit on the monster. And again, that's without attack up. You're looking at that damage number. It could be much higher than that, or not much higher, but a good bit higher than that. So yeah, very comfy damage. Moving on, Sneak Attack is great, Frostcraft is great, as I was just saying. As you know, it was never good prior to Title Update 5, but now that it's something you can just augment and it's really no big deal, it's pretty cool to include it into the set for just additional bonus. Now, Heaven Sent is cool, especially with this horn, because you basically just never need to sharpen. So I'm running Dereliction in this set, yes, but you don't need to run Dereliction at all. In fact, I have Dereliction in the Talisman. Let's take a look at my skills. So, of course, the Royal Order horn with your flat attack boost Can't slot anything else. Our Risen Kaiser for the Powder Mantle, level of Frostcraft. And I have the Bloodright Jewel so that when the monster's parts are broken, you get some health back. Very valuable. Very valuable quality of life, and just not dying is good sometimes. Especially with Dereliction draining your health all the time. But we got our Attack Boost Jewel, we got our Backstab Jewel for it, we got our Intrepid Heart. We got another level of Intrepid Heart. Oh, by the way, we're running a Sonorous and a regular Attack Jewel here. We got our Anti-Aerial. And we got here with the Tempest. These are obviously for Heaven Sent. They have great slots too. They're actually pretty good to build with. Pretty nice pieces with the 4/4/1s, right? And then being able to get, I have Wind Mantle on this one, Frostcraft on that one, another Frostcraft here, and a 1 slot on the Virtue Coil. We did get rid of Bloodlust, but that's okay, because I believe we're slotting Bloodlust. We are. We have Bloodlust right there. So that's fine. And finally, the Tempest Hakama with a little level of Sneak Attack. Not the best augment, but I couldn't really think of anything else that the set, it was at least useful for the set, and it saved me a 2 slot. We got the Evade Extender and the Chain Crit for 1 level, just for the most value for Raw. This talisman's got 2 levels of Resentment and 1 level of Dereliction. So it is the ultimate optional part of this build. In fact, you could take this talisman off and your build is still completely fine. If you have a Dereliction talisman, I'd recommend it. It doesn't really matter what the first skill is. It being Resentment here is awesome, but it doesn't have to be, because Dereliction is a very valuable skill for proccing Resentment all the time and for giving you just a flat damage boost. Now, it doesn't stack wonderfully with using the new skill Heaven Sent, but the good thing is the Royal Order Horn really doesn't care about Heaven Sent, like the sharpness saving. It just makes it so you never have to sharpen, so you never have to switch your scroll with this build, which is nice because you're always going to have purple. And then when you eventually get off your skill, when you eventually activate Heaven Sent, you are just going to stay in purple and always be comfortably in purple, even if you're a sloppy player and get hit all the time, like I certainly do. Hope you enjoy, and don't forget, like and subscribe. And if you're a lucky man or woman, once we hit 1,000 subs, we'll be giving away a whole Nintendo Switch. Alright guys, peace out.